brought to you by Wolfpack. Please welcome to the stage your host for Olympia Weekend, the voice of bodybuilding, Bob Cicherillo.
What's up, Vegas? Oh man, am I excited. Folks, we have seen the most competitive lineup, I think maybe even in Olympia history, unfold itself for this year's Olympia title. And that's not just in the men's, but straight across the board. Over 400 athletes qualifying this year. That does make this the biggest Olympia of all time. And I couldn't be happier that we're back here in Vegas. We're going to get to the athletes in just a bit, folks, but we've got a little business to take care of first. That, of course, is the weekend and how it unfolds. All the activities are going to be, of course, at the Expo. That's going to be at the Venetian. Very nicely put together. I think you guys are going to like what you see. A lot of sponsors have come back now that we've gotten past the COVID years. So it's great to have some of the big boxes coming back and setting up shop. Of course, you'll see all that action. Lots of new activities going on there, and of course, sponsors and events. You're going to see that everything's been supersized here at the Olympia. No greater year than this year, of course, with a record amount of athletes competing. But we always like to start things off right here with the press conference. And I'm glad everybody was able to come out here and enjoy it, because I think we've got a great show lined up for you. Folks, this show actually has been 3 years in the making, believe it or not. There's a lot of pieces that had to get put together, but this was actually going to take place a few years back. Got put off by the COVID. All the boys got together, and of course, Jake Wood. I can't see anything because of the lights, but here's Jake right down in front. Your Olympia owner, folks, Jake Wood. While other events canceled around the world, Jake said, no, we're not canceling nothing. Matter of fact, we're going to put the prize money up even bigger. We're going to have the biggest stage in Olympia history, and the show will go on, and history will be made. Thank you, Jake, for everything that you do for our sport. When you talk about putting the pieces together, like I said, almost 3 years ago, they were starting to put the pieces together. Then they had to do an 11th hour change. We ended up in Orlando. Turned out absolutely fantastic. But if I could tell you all the people that have to come together to put an event like this on, it would take me forever. But I got somebody better, and that, of course, is Dan Solomon. He's right down here in the front. What's up, Dan? Get up for your Olympia president. Actually, Dan, don't sit down. You know what? Why don't you come on up here, because you know this stuff a whole lot better than I do. So, Dan, come on up on stage, man. Just give me a couple minutes with you. Come on up, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the president of the Olympia, Dan Solomon.
Told you we'd get you on stage this weekend, all right?
I wore my lucky sweater. So let me tell you something, Bob. I got to be honest. The last couple of years, if you turned on the various business news outlets like CNBC or whatever news channels you watched all the industries around the world struggle as we were ravaged by a global pandemic.
Then that happened.
And along the way, we watched our friends and other businesses and other industries struggle. And we saw companies shrink. We saw people revisit the way they even do business. We saw company by company struggle in ways that were heartbreaking. And it was a tough thing to see. But what I learned over the last couple of years is that the passion, devotion, dedication that lives in this room can conquer anything, even a global pandemic.
Yep.
And I say this because there were more events held over the last year than we have ever held, thanks to the NPC and the IFBB Professional League. Outside of the United States, there was over 250 events, and they took place with record participation in nearly every measurable, whether it was sports nutrition companies, apparel businesses, exercise equipment companies. They were thriving and growing in the face of one of the most difficult times in economic history. And that really filled me to know how impenetrable we are when it comes to rivaling our passion against anything that comes our way. But with that said, you opened tonight, Bob, and you said to this crowd that this is the biggest Olympia we've ever had. I think it's important to tell you this, and then I'm going to sit down. I think it's important to tell you guys something as you're making your way around Las Vegas and the Venetian Convention Center, and of course the Zappos Theater down the hall. That stage production is going to knock your socks off. But I will tell you that as you're going through this, what I'm about to tell you is not promoter bullshit. It is not hyperbole or nonsense or just stuff so we can hear ourselves say great things about what we do. What I'm about to tell you is a statement of measurable fact. When you look at our ticket sales, the Zappos Theater for our main production has been sold out for over a month. Earlier this week, we staged the Amateur Olympia where 800 registrations took place. It was the largest Amateur Olympia in the history of the time we've been doing this. Sponsorships are at an all-time high. This coming weekend, more than 400 IFBB professional athletes will compete in 11 divisions for more prize money than has ever been awarded in the history of bodybuilding competition. And it all adds up to one thing, and listen clearly. You guys are attending the biggest bodybuilding and fitness event of all time. Yep. And Bob, since they told us we are not allowed to drop mics, I'm just going to hand it back to you. Let's go.
Give it up for Dan Solomon. All right, well, like I said, folks, we've got a little business to take care of here today. I want to give a special thank you to Wolfpack. You can see their bags up on stage. They are one of our main sponsors here this weekend, along with your Kratom. I see my buddy Kelly and his lovely wife right down here in the front. Good to have you guys here at the Olympia. You're going to see all kinds of people over this weekend. All right, folks, well, we can come to that time. The only question here, the athletes are ready. They're lined up. DJ Freddy's ready. Question is, where's my man Sid? Is he ready?
Bob, I was born ready. The real question is, are you ready?
You're asking me if I'm ready?
Oh, how the tables have turned.
Okay.
I think it's time to find out the best fans in all of bodybuilding already. What say you?
I say we go to the fans right here in Vegas and from around the world. Fans who are in Vegas, are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the 2022 12 Olympia champion from the United States, Shawn, the Giant Killer Clarida. And the 2019 212 Olympia champion from Libya, Kamal Elgargni.
All right, two champs here, but folks, I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize one of the best of all time. I got lights right in my face, folks, so forgive me, but talking about our women's bodybuilders, so the best women's bodybuilder of all time is here. Give it up for 8-time Olympia champ, Linda Murray. All right, Battle of the 212, a vacated title, but both you guys have had this title in the past. Derek Lunsford, he's going up with the big boys. Even though you earned your way to compete against the big boys, you said, I'm going to stay one more year at least in that 212 and get that title back. What do you think, champ?
I'm ready. Talked it over with my coach. This is a tough decision, obviously. The 212 title means a lot to me. We want the title back.
Was it a tough decision? Was it something you guys kind of went back and forth? This is, well, hang on now. I could make a big splash in that open against the big boys, and that would be something to see you up there at 177 pounds. At least that's what you were last year. And standing next to, giving up 100 pounds to Big Ramy and some of the crew. So was that a decision that was tough to make?
Honestly, it was. I think that, publicity would be there. It'd be a big hype for me going into Olympia. But I'm realistic as well. I was giving up a lot of pounds to these guys. This is a deep stacked lineup. And like I told you, at the Legion, that won't be my last pro show, so you'll see me soon.
Yeah, I could see you in an open sometime in the future, but right now the business is there, and that title's just sitting there kind of wide open as Derek moved on. Kamal, you have been in that winner's circle. You guys have beaten each other on occasion, so this is going to be a real good match with the 212. Another deep lineup here at the Olympia. Kamal, your chances of recapturing that title this year at 50 years old? 51. This guy don't age.
This year is going to be a lot different. When I won my title, it was like 2019, was in Vegas. And then we moved to Orlando. Now we come back to Vegas. So I came back to grab it back. This is what I'm coming here for. And I'm very confident. And I feel like the best I've ever been. As I was always like, say, Kamal is getting older. What he's going to bring, what he's going to prove. That's not going to happen with me. Because you're going to see a lot of improvement again this year.
Can't wait to see that. Kamal's trademark conditioning has brought him that title, but that's also your trademark to that stage, is that conditioning and, of course, that roundness that you carry on that small frame. What's going to be the ticket to getting one over on Kamal this time?
Conditioning's there. We're about 7 to 8 pounds bigger than we were last year. I posed this board for Flex Lewis, and he gave me a thumbs up, so we're ready.
It's not a bad guy to get a thumbs up from, is our good friend Flex Lewis, and with 7 titles to his credit. But so you're actually up that much from you were 177 last year, I believe.
So when I won the Olympia in 2020, I was 177. So last year I was 178. So this year we're around 184, 85 right now.
I like that. Listen, you only pack so much on that frame, but man, this is going to be a good one. Can't wait, gentlemen. One of these two gentlemen may in fact be your next 212 Olympia champ. Give it up, Shawn, Clarida, Kamal, Elgargni.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your 5-time Figure Olympia champion from the United States,